Thank you all for coming to help us with this celebration of our first benchmark success in the push to raise a lot of money for the Civic Center. And we have you to thank. I'm Susan Weller, President of the Board of the Jacksonville Center for the Arts. If you look around you, you'll see a number of people with what look like Olympic gold medals hanging around their necks. These are our heroes, people who have had such faith in our eventual success that they willingly donated or pledged their treasure to the effort. Some of these wonderful people are not here today, but their names are on the Board of Honor up there at the front of the restaurant. And the ones with the gold stars are the ones who have given at a leadership level. I want to thank all of those. They hold a special place in our hearts. When the board and I began this project, we had only an inkling of what was before us. One thing we knew for sure, we needed help. Good professional help. We would have been lost without it. And we found it in Susan Palmer of the Palmer Westport Group and the North Group. Susan has the experience and the demeanor to push us through this very difficult process. We could not have gotten this far without her. My friend and consultant to the Board of Directors of the Center for the Arts, Susan Palmer.
Thank you, Susan. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I feel like Evita up here. I've been working on this project now for probably around 4 years. I met Susan 4 years ago at the League of Historic American Theaters conference somewhere in this country. I don't even remember where now, but that was 3 iterations of this project ago. And what continues to amaze me with this community and with Susan Weller and with the board and with the legislative delegation that has been behind this project all the way is the persistence and the intrepid commitment to making sure that your community has a performing arts center, which is going to be embodied in the Jacksonville Civic Center. I first met Susan when you all were thinking that you were going to have a historic church that was going to be dedicated to a performing arts center. And we worked on that for a little while, and it wasn't long into it that the church people decided that they were going to keep the church as a church. And Susan called me up and said, well, we don't have a project. The church is going to stay a church. And I just thought, oh, rats, I like Jacksonville, and now I'm not going to be able to come back anymore. So a little time went by, and I got a call from Susan Weller. And she said, well, the Department of Energy has a project for us now, and we're going to be able to put our Performing Arts Center in the Future Gen site. So I came back to Jacksonville and met a few more people here and fell more in love with the community and worked that one for 1.5 years or so, and went back to where I live in Santa Fe, and I got a call from Susan Weller. And she said, the Department of Energy is pulling out. We don't have a project. And that time I really said, oh, rats. I really love that community. I'm not going to see anybody anymore. But, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Well, not too much time went by, and I got a call from Susan Weller. And she said, we want to stick with this. Our community wants this facility. Our community needs this facility. They've demonstrated the need for this facility, and we're going to plow through. So we looked at adaptive reviews of existing buildings, and then your magnificent mayor, who has a magnificent vision for this city, talked to us about designating this piece of land that's just around the park here as a site to build the facility that you want and that you need, and it's going to perfectly match your needs. And that's really that's changed everything. And I think that's what's going to make this the winning project. So we've had the mayor, we've had the city fathers behind this, We've had Susan all the way. You know she's like a dog with a bone on this. All of you know this. Her board, C.D. Davidsmeyer, you're going to talk with him in just a few minutes. Everybody's been behind it from the beginning. And it's really been a joy and a privilege for me to be involved. I was pleased right now when Susan just said that I'm her consultant and her friend. This is one of the rare places, maybe the only place, when I'm on site with a client that I will stay in someone's house. So I stay in Susan's house. And it's like a sorority house sometimes. And we've become such good friends that I said to her, Susan, I live in Santa Fe, Susan, come visit me in Santa Fe. For 4 years, she would not come. Finally, I figured out how to get Susan Weller to Santa Fe, New Mexico. I said, if you come to Santa Fe and visit with me, I will work with you for free. Susan has been here to Santa Fe twice, between September and December. She came at Christmas, and in the Christmas trip, she said, I promise I won't make you work. No. We worked, and it was fabulous. So I want to thank Susan and her board for giving me this wonderful opportunity, and the legislative delegation, and CD, and the mayor, but mostly all of you, because this community really sticks to its guns, and it gets the job done. I love being here. I've loved making friends with all of you, and I just want to thank you very much.
2.5 years ago, the city of Jacksonville leased us some property for the Civic Center. That would not have been possible without the strong faith and leadership of our mayor, who has continued to put us and his faith in our efforts. It's great to have the city believing in us, and Andy leads the way. Mayor Andy Ezzard.
Those are some of the nicest words that have ever been said about me lately. So I appreciate that, Dr. Weller. I thank everybody for being here on behalf of the city, myself, Alderman Bill Scott, Alderman Marcy Patterson, Alderman Steve Romowski. Is there any other alderman here? Okay, well, you know what? It was just March Madness. I'm a basketball guy. The metaphor I'm going to use today is Dr. Susan Weller and our other friend Susan Palmer have done a great job. She's been the point guard, she's been the center, she's been the power forward, she's been the shooting guard. She's done it all for this basketball team. And now it's all of us to turn up the heat on the bench and help Dr. Susan Weller out a little bit more. We're all here for a reason. We've all contributed. Now we got to do more. It's a great chapter, these few chapters of the Future Gen project that fell through, the other things, but now we're in the middle of the book now, and we got to finish the book. And let's finish that book strong and support this project. We're all in this together. It's been a great, as a mayor, to be a small part of this, and I look forward to the future of getting this project done. Thank you.
The people on this balcony with me have been with us from the very beginning. They've followed, never wavering in their support, through every change of direction we had to make. They're a source of energy and encouragement. Our state representative has given us guidance and suggestions from the very beginning. Our valued and personal good friend, C.D. Davidsmeyer.
Thank you, Susan and Mayor. First off, Susan, Dr. Weller, the mayor's going to stick around to explain to you what those positions were, all those positions that you played. So he will stick around and explain those to you. Susan has been obviously a huge advocate for this project. This has been something that has been talked about for I don't know how long. I think I moved back to Jacksonville 12 years ago, and I want to say Larry Custer was probably in my ear about something like this back then. And to see something pushed for so hard by somebody who cares about it so much is just amazing. And you know, when Susan comes into my office, I know I'm going to have to do something. She comes in and she says, CD, on this date, we're going to have this thing and you're going to speak. And I say, okay, Susan. Luckily, one of the Bradbury boys said, keep it short, so I will. But a project like this is a huge investment in not just the city of Jacksonville, but the entire region. It's an investment in our cultural future. I think cultural investments like this make a huge statement to those that are looking at the city of Jacksonville. And this is a huge investment. I also want to say how much I appreciate private investment in projects like this. Because every day I have somebody coming in my office saying, we got these great things we could do, all we need is money. And I love it when one of you step up to help a great project like this. It's going to do a lot of great things for the city of Jacksonville and the entire region. And we need to keep supporting Susan and the other Susan to make sure that we can bring this project to fruition. So thank you very much.
I should make a point that we have a number of my board members in the audience. This is not a Susan and Susan project. There are a lot of people that are working on this. Special thanks to Shiraz and to Mike Anderson and his music and to Boyd Music for our sound. Please help yourself to food and drink and be sure to look at the new architectural drawings up against the wall over there. Have a great time. Ask questions. Make suggestions. Remember, this is going to be your civic center, not mine. Get excited. Talk to your friends. Become a believer. This will happen. Thank you again for coming. On to the next million.